Welcome to Stone Soup Group's Guides and Mentors Training, Session 5, Communication Skills. You will learn to describe communication skills people who are deaf or hard of hearing can use. Communication skills include American Sign Language, Manually Coded English, or MCE, Conceptually Accurate Signed English, or CASE, Cued Speech, Fingerspelling, Natural Gestures, Listening or auditory training, listening and spoken language or spoken speech, and speech reading. American Sign Language. American Sign Language, or ASL, is a language itself. While English and Spanish are spoken languages, ASL is a visual language. ASL is a complete language. People communicate using hand shapes, direction and motion of the hands, body language, and facial expressions. ASL has its own grammar, word order, and sentence structure. People can share feelings, jokes, and complete ideas using ASL. Manually Coded English, or MCE. Manually coded English, sometimes called Signed Exact English, or C, is made up of signs that are a visual code for spoken English. MCE is a code for a language, the English language. Many of the signs, hand shapes, and hand motions in MCE are borrowed from American Sign Language. But unlike American Sign Language, the grammar, word order, and sentence structure of MCE are similar to the English language. Conceptually Accurate Signed English, or CASE. Conceptually Accurate Signed English, which is sometimes called Pidgin Signed English, or PSE, has developed between people who use American Sign Language and people who use manually coded English, using signs based on ASL and MCE. This helps them understand each other better. CASE is flexible and can be changed depending on the people using it. Cued speech. Cued speech helps people who are deaf or hard of hearing better understand spoken languages. When watching a person's mouth, many speech sounds look the same on the face, even though the sounds heard are not the same. When cueing English, the person communicating uses 8 hand shapes and 4 places near the mouth to help the person looking to tell the difference between speech sounds. Cued speech allows the person to make out sounds and words when they are using other building blocks, such as speech reading, lip reading, or auditory training or listening. Fingerspelling. With fingerspelling, the person uses hands and fingers to spell out words. Hand shapes represent the letters in the alphabet. Fingerspelling is used with many other communication methods, and it is almost never used by itself. It is most often used to spell out words that do not have a sign, such as the names of places or people. Natural gestures. Natural gestures, or body language, are actions that people normally do to help others understand a message. For example, the parent might put a first finger over their mouth and nose to show that the child needs to be quiet. Babies will begin to use this building block naturally if they can see what others are doing. This building block is not taught, it just comes naturally. It's always used with other building blocks. Listening and auditory training. Most people who are deaf or hard of hearing have some hearing. This is called residual hearing. Some people rely or learn how to maximize their residual hearing through auditory training. This building block is often used in combination with hearing aids, cochlear implants, or other assistive devices. For a person with hearing loss, listening is often hard without proper training, usually done by a speech-language pathologist. Listening and spoken language, or spoken speech. People can use speech to express themselves. Learning to speak is a skill that can help build language. Speech or learning to speak is often used in combination with hearing aids, cochlear implants, or other assistive devices that help people maximize their residual hearing. Since speech can only be used by a person to express themselves, other building blocks, such as hearing with a hearing aid, must be added in order to help the person understand what is being said so they can communicate with others. Speech reading. Speech reading or lip reading helps a person with hearing loss understand speech. The person watches the movements of a speaker's mouth and face and understands what the speaker is saying. About 40% of the sounds in the English language can be seen on the lips of a speaker in good conditions, such as a well-lit room where the child can see the speaker's face. A good speech reader might be able to only see 4 to 5 words in a 12-word sentence. Children often use speech reading in combination with other tools, such as auditory training or listening, cued speech, and others, but it can't be successful alone. Sometimes, when talking with a person who is deaf or hard of hearing, people will exaggerate their mouth movements or talk very loudly. Exaggerated mouth movements and a loud voice can make speech reading very hard. It is important to talk in a normal way and look directly at your child's face and make sure he or she is watching you. Communication skills. Which of these communication skills are you most familiar with? Which do you need to learn more about? Practice describing the different skills and how they can be used together. Visit the CDC page about communication approaches and skills to learn more. Next up, EHDI Map Session 6, Assistive Technology for Home and Community.